Dundee United have sensationally parted company with their manager Ivan Golac. The man who led the Tannadice team to their first ever Scottish Cup triumph leaves the club as from today. United's present backroom staff have been handed the job of pulling the club clear of the relegation zone.
Ivan Golac arrived at Tannadice just before 10 this morning in his white Mercedes. Half an hour later, he was no longer manager of Dundee United. The move ended speculation that Sunday's defeat by Hearts would bring an end to his spell in charge of the cup holders, which began 20 months ago. The team's form in the Premier League during his stay obviously made his position impossible, and although he still had 3 months of his contract to run, it was felt he should go now. He didn't take time to say goodbye to the players, but it was a philosophical Ivan Golac who left Tannadice.
I'm not disappointed. Sometimes, you know, things doesn't go your way and the way you would love to. Sometimes it does, you know. But no, I'm not disappointed. And I can assure you, there's never been, you know, any stress. I've never been under any pressure. Because it simply, you know, just I'm doing in life what I love, and I'm always trying to do the best.
2 hours after the manager's departure, Dundee United chairman Jim McLean broke the news to the press, and he stressed the parting was by mutual consent.
It's a very sad day for all connected with Dundee United Football Club, but by mutual agreement between the parties and in accordance with the terms of his contract, our manager Ivan Golac is to leave the club immediately. Our poor league performances over the last 2 seasons and exits from European and domestic cup competitions this season has been a major disappointment for the club and its supporters. Therefore, the board has decided that it is in the best interest of everyone associated with Dundee United Football Club that the position is made clear now, both to preserve our Premier League status and prepare for next season. However, the board now feel that the future of Dundee United will be better served under new management.
Coaches Gordon Wallace, Paul Hegarty and skipper Maurice Malpass were named as the men who would take the helm in the bid to take the club clear of relegation, with Jim McLean insisting he would not be returning to the manager's seat and giving his new team his full backing.
They've worked with Dundee United over a long period of time as players and coaches, and at the end of the day we've every confidence in them, and in no way is a reflection that Dundee United, as with Aberdeen at the moment, are going to be relegated. We are confident that the way forward is with the coaching staff that we have at the moment, and we are keeping all our options open into when and if and who we appoint as a manager.
The fight is now on to improve on results like this, but how will Golac's leaving affect the players?
Hopefully it won't affect the players. We've got to put our hand up first and foremost and say we've as much blame as anybody else. You know, at the end of the day, it's us that gets the results or don't get the results, as the case is. So it's important we go out. We've got 9 cup finals left in the season, and it starts against Motherwell on Saturday, and we've got to make sure we're prepared properly and go out and play the way we can play.
Well, Ivan Golac joined United 20 months ago from Yugoslavian second division side Makva. Before that, he'd been with Partizan Belgrade and had an impressive spell in England with Southampton. With his Scottish Cup success last season, he looked to be the man to take United on to greater things.
Less than 10 months ago, Ivan Golac was riding around Dundee aloft an open-top bus like a knight on a white charger, idolised by the Tannadice faithful. At his first attempt, he'd inspired Dundee United to their first ever Scottish Cup triumph, a feat they'd failed to achieve in 6 previous finals. But the triumph masked a disappointing league campaign that saw the Tannadice team finish the season only 2 points ahead of relegated St Johnstone. This season, the story has been similar, with United back in the relegation zone, only 4 points above second bottom Aberdeen, having won only 8 of their 27 Premier games. Football fans viewed his departure with mixed feelings.
Sad, because I thought he was doing a good job there, but he never got a chance.
He came here saying he would do this, that, the next thing. He won the Scottish Cup, and that was it. I mean, he's had the players that have been at Tannadice for years and years, and they played well then. What are they doing now? Look at Sunday's match. Pathetic.
I think he was doing a good enough job. Maybe you're wrong, but you can only put 11 men on the park. It's up to them to do what they think, eh?
The media saw Ivan Golac as a breath of fresh air in a game that has been going through a rough spell in Scotland. Never stuck for a comment, he constantly sold the positive side of his nature and predicted United would win the Cup and qualify for Europe. He was obviously disappointed, others didn't share his optimism.
It's hard to soar like an eagle, you know, where you're surrounded by turkeys. And you want everybody around you to think, the players and the staff, to think the same way, because if you're not positive in life, you ain't got the chance. If you're negative, goodness me, you know. If I'm negative as a leader, let's put it this way, what can you expect from the players? So you always try to motivate the players, try to work. But it was a season where we conceded so many bad goals. It was absolutely shocking, you know, hard to believe. But that's a part of a job, that's a part of our profession, and I'm happy, you know, with the things we've done, and no, I'm looking forward to the future.
Coach Gordon Wallace has been given the job of heading the United rescue team, and he's not underestimating the challenge that lies ahead.
You've only to look at our league position to realise that we've got a job in our hands. But we've been asked to take over an interim period. I'm not looking any further forward than Saturday.
Is there a feeling of confidence that you can pull yourselves clear out of this?
I think, you know, we have players capable, as we proved by winning the Scottish Cup last year. But right at this moment in time, we're not performing, and we almost shoulder some of the blame for that. And hopefully we can rectify it as quickly as possible.
United will undoubtedly find Motherwell hot to handle. They'll be desperate for revenge after that 6-goal drubbing handed out at Tannadice.
Well, meanwhile, United and Aberdeen could be plunged further into relegation trouble tonight when bottom-placed Partick Thistle take on Motherwell. A victory for the Firhill men would put the Dons bottom and narrow the gap with United to only 3 points.
Has left Dundee United in the wake of their Tennent's Scottish Cup exit at the weekend. Both manager and directors have insisted he was not sacked, but agreed to go by mutual consent. United, who are dangerously close to the relegation zone in third bottom spot, have placed coaches Gordon Wallace, Paul Hegarty and club captain Maurice Malpass in charge until the end of the season. Here's Neil Moody.
When the former Belgrade star arrived at Tannadice in July 1993, he brought a breath of fresh air to the Tayside club, showing an optimistic nature which endeared him to the fans and the media during the next 12 months. And when United fulfilled his confident predictions by lifting the Scottish Cup last year, the big Yugoslav became one of Tayside's most popular figures. But a steady run of poor results this season, which brought an early departure from Europe and a poor league position, saw his popularity slide with fans and directors. A win at Tynecastle on Sunday might have brought a stay of execution, but it was not to be.
Kai's corner, helped on there.
As United chairman Jim McLean announced the departure of Ivan Golac this afternoon, the uncertainty was ended, but more speculation began. Who would take his place?
At the moment, we definitely don't have anybody in mind. If we did have, then obviously they would be making that appointment or that statement today. We have all our options kept open, and we think it's the right way forward. This decision had to be taken today. It's an unfortunate decision, but at the end of the day, you can't make decisions just when it's suitable to you.
The club coaches have now been charged with securing United's Premier League status and have been given no indication when they might expect a new manager.
Well, that's with the board of directors of Dundee United Football Club. We've been asked to take over in the interim period, which we'll do, and we'll do to the best of our ability. And we're not looking any further forward than Saturday's game.
Ivan Golac took his departure from the club philosophically.
The board knew, you know, I won't be staying after the end of the season. They want something new and fresh, so that's fair enough.
How do you feel personally about what's happened?
I always feel great, you know, that's why I'm different, you know, I wouldn't change it with anybody.
And so the man whose reign at Tannadice lasted only 20 months left as he arrived, with a smile on his face.
Oh, nothing will change. Nothing will change. You see, wherever I'm going, you know, I'll take a son with me, so...
That sums him up.